So next up, I know you really enjoy this man, and also another dude whose nickname is perfect for himself, the skyscraper, Stefan Struve, who sits at a towering 6'11". I don't think I've ever seen a 7-foot UFC fighter before,
Uh-huh.
and he's fighting Tai Tuivasa.
hmm So I got stories, pun stories, pun stories with these two guys. Okay, let's start with our boy Struve. Last fight. All right, remember our boy Big Ben Rothwell? Remember Mr. Doggy Dog?
Oh, yeah.
So this guy goes into this fight. This is if you think Big Ben Rothwell is on levels with that kind of like aura and universe. This
Yeah.
man has already had health conditions. Stefan Struve. Like I want you to know that this man has been fighting since he was 20. Since 2009. He's 32 right now.
Holy. Wow.
Take that in. Take that in. He's been fighting
Yeah,
since 2009.
since he was like 20.
Yeah. And so, in terms of everyone he's fought in the UFC, I mean, he's seen it all. Okay. Goes and fights Big Ben Rothwell in his last fight. I mean, takes a low blow, a massive one in the first round. You know, he recovers, takes almost all the time, goes into his corner, comes back. Takes another one in the second round. Another low blow from Big Ben. Big Ben's throwing these massive kicks, bro. Just nailing him in the crotch. And everyone's like, God.
Does this guy have a skyscraper down there, too? Like, what's going on?
Maybe this guy, like, they're all like, maybe this guy deserves to take a point right now. Like, no, they let it go. Bro, this last one, this last kick, it's like if Ben wasn't aiming for it, everybody thought he was at the end of it, but he just nails him. And we're talking like...
You went straight Draymond,
Oh,
eh?
talk about skyscraper. Oh, he was flying saucer, really. Like, just in the air, borderline, like, horizontal from the blow, on the floor. Just, you know, it's funny because I felt like the referee was kind of telling him to get on with the fight or kind of push the fight a little bit. But he took his full time. Clearly wasn't himself. Bro, within a minute, he got pounded up against the fence and got knocked out.
Oh, wow.
So there was a point taken. Big Ben Rothwell's like, you know what? That first round, I don't even know if I won it. It's probably close. This round, I just lost that point. Well, I'm going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And he gets it. So Stefan Struve is Mr. Unlucky. He is the fighter that everyone who's been watching the sport since that time is like, wow, 6'11" heavyweight fighter. How have you not found a way to utilize this to your advantage?
Yeah. Your reach is at least 10 inches than any other opponent you're facing.
Mm-hmm. And it's incredible how terrible his development has been. And it's unfortunate that, you know, towards the end of his 20s, he was already experiencing, you know, health issues that could potentially keep him out of fighting forever. And so let's go quickly into, and the best part is when you think about Big Ben, we talked about the dog and all that stuff. You know, he has to explain himself after all that. And our boy Stefan Struve was interviewed. And do you know what he described as taking that leg kick from Big Ben Rothwell? He said it felt like giving birth to a Charizard.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't know where he came up with that explanation, but he described it as giving birth to the biggest dragon-sized level Pokemon. And he experienced it 3 times. So, I mean... How he decided to come back to that fight, I don't know. He should have just taken his full time, or maybe even been like, you know, call this like my nuts are in my fucking throat, like it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Straight Manu Ginobili over here.
Yeah, and so Tuivasa, I thought similar to Stefan Struve, but I thought his rise might be a little bit quicker. He had good striking for the division, but he's extremely out of shape, and for his age, you'd expect a little bit more of just that kind of focus. Sorry, not on him being healthier, but just the idea of maybe trying to lose the weight while you can. Kind of thing. Yeah, and so he's looked like he's losing a bit of the weight as he keeps going. So I'm kind of hoping, looking at the weigh-ins, you know, if he's looking trimmer, I do believe he can get the finish here. It's just when I see the way he fights, he kind of will tire himself out. You know, I don't know if you remember our boy Spivak, but he did fight him. And he looked pretty good in the first. He was landing a lot of power shots. But I felt that Spivak told himself, that, I can take these shots. I'm not getting knocked out by them. So he kept taking them. And by the second round, you know, Tai Tuivasa looked a little tired. This guy was able to get him to the ground. And he was up against the fence in a position where, like, he actually could have maybe saved himself from this arm triangle. But he kind of moved away from the fence, and Spivak was able to actually squeeze in between the fence and him and finish it. And all he had to do was really tuck himself in there. And it looked like he got tired. He got sloppy. And so a guy like that can lose to Stefan Struve. So for me, it's like, what kind of version of Tai Tuivasa am I going to see? And that's where I think, you know, as I always say, the weigh-ins, the face-offs, like I do a lot of my picking based on what I see on Friday. And so I think this is going to be one of those. But at the same time, if I had to pick a favorite, I would almost, just poor Stefan Struve, but a knockout win by Tuivasa just seems where Vegas would take this.
And this is definitely one of those ones where I think the line is going to be shifted based on the weigh-ins, based on how these guys are looking. It's pretty much a pick right now. It's minus 125 in Struve's favor. And I think exactly what you said, Vegas themselves are waiting to see that weigh-in to, kind of move that line in either direction.
Okay, that's a very interesting line, and you know what? From an experience perspective, there's no doubt in my mind that Stefan Struve can win this fight. But if Tuivasa has put the time in to his training camp to be better than Stefan Struve at this fight, I very much believe he can be.